Now, for those that are separated, you have to form them using more than two words. For example, we have high and school, so you end up having high school. We have rabbit and hatch, you end up having rabbit hatch, radagan, and more examples that we had given during our last lesson. We also have compound nouns that are formed by using hyphenated. You separate the words using a hyphen. Now here we had so many examples, but just to mention a few, we have a go getter. We have go then hyphen getter. We have mother-in-law, sergeant at arms, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, etc. etc. So such compound nouns, we say that they are formed using a hyphen. Now, we zeroed down or we narrowed down to how more compound nouns are formed and in different ways. And we were saying that we have compound nouns are usually a combination of two or more word classes. Now, word classes, we simply mean it can be a compound noun formed from a noun and another noun. For example, when we have table as a noun, we have room as a noun. Now, when you join the two together, you will end up having table room. And for you to get the plural of table room, in most cases, most of these compound nouns that you combine a noun and another noun, for you to get their plurals, you just add an S to the last word. Most of these compound nouns take plurals in their last words. Now, another example is grass and root. Grass is a noun, root is a noun. So when you combine the two, you will have a compound noun formed from two nouns, and you'll end up having grassroot. For you to get the plural of grassroot, you simply add an S at the end of the word, and you'll have grassroots. We have other examples like farm and house. You have farmhouse in plural farmhouses. We have fruit and machine. These are two nouns. Fruit is a noun, machine is a noun. When you combine the two, you'll end up having a compound noun. And this compound noun, for you to get its plural, you simply add an S at the end of the word, and we'll have fruit machines. Now, let's explore some more examples is how more compound nouns are formed. We have those that are formed. As in B here, where you join a verb and an adverb. Now, Barbara. Barbara,
Yes,
good morning.
morning.
Kindly assist us read how compound nouns are formed when you combine a verb and an adverb. Please assist us read that statement and give us the examples that are under that category.
Some compound nouns are formed by joining an adjective and a noun.
Not that one. The part B, a verb and an adverb.
Some are formed by joining a verb and an adverb. Most of these compound nouns also take their plural in the last words. Example: breakfast, push up, run down, take away, knock out, sleep up, sit up, melt down.
Yeah, and melt down. Now, in short, what you are trying to say is that when you have formed a compound noun by combining a verb and an adverb, you will end up having most of their plurals being formed also in the last word by simply adding an S. Now, we have an example like break. That one is a verb. and we have the word fast. That one is an adverb. When you combine the two, break and fast, you will have breakfast. For you to get the plural of that, you will simply add an S to the word breakfast, and you will end up having breakfasts. Breakfasts. Now, Scott,
Yes.
good morning.
Yes.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. Good morning.
Hey, how are you?
Morning.
How are
I'm
you?
fine.
Now, you assist us go through some of the compound nouns formed by joining an adjective and a noun, part C. Scott?
Some compound nouns are formed by joining an adjective and a noun. Most of these also take their plural in the last words. Plurals in the last words. Examples: hot dogs, blackboards, highways, nuclear power, polar bear, quicksand, remote controls, right angles, safeguards.
Wendy, I can see your hand. You want to say something? Wendy?
I was going to ask if I can read part D.
Yeah, sure. Go on, Wendy.
Some are formed by joining a verb and a noun. Most of these also take their plurals in the last words. Examples: driveway, breakdance, mine, cement, password, playground, push chairs, crew driver, spare wheel, send, thrift, go getter.
Yeah, now, as Wendy has highlighted in part D, boys and girls, we have some compound nouns which are formed by joining a verb. Remember, verb is a doing word, and a noun. A noun is a naming word. Now, most of these also, they take their plurals in the last words. We have examples like drive is a verb, way is a noun. So, drive way, that one is a compound noun formed by joining two words, that is a verb and a noun. And if you want to get the plural of these words, you simply add an S to the last word, and you will have drive ways. Another example, we have play and ground. Remember, play is a verb. That one is a doing verb, is an action word. Ground is a noun, is a naming word. Now, when you combine play and ground, you end up having playground. For you to get the plural, you simply have playgrounds, playgrounds. The same applies to breakdance, pushchair, screwdriver, go-getter, and spendthrift. Part 5, Bowen. Take us through part 5, Bowen.
Some are formed by joining an adverb and a noun. Most of these also take their plural in the last words. Examples: overdraft, overcoats, backyards, backbencher, undercoat, backbone, backlog, underwear, oversight.
Yeah, we have also compound nouns that are formed by joining an adverb and a noun. An adverb and a noun. An adverb and a noun. And we have examples right there. When you take over and coat, those are two words. One is a noun, the other one is an adverb. When you combine, you end up having a compound noun. And remember, we said that the definition of a compound noun these are words that are joined by forming two or more words combined together. Now, you can see in this example, you can vividly note that we are joining two words. That is an adverb and a noun. An adverb and a noun. Yes, Joy, I've seen your message. Please take us through part F. Joy, take us through part F, please, Joy.
A few compound nouns are formed by joining an adverb and a verb. These ones also take their plurals in the last words. Examples: outbreaks, outbursts, blacklusts, outcasts, outputs, inputs.
Inputs. Very good. Yeah, so that's why we said compound nouns generally are formed from a variety of word clauses. You can join as many as words you can to come up with the compound nouns. Now we are at part F, and we are saying that, as Joy has read, that a few compound nouns are formed by joining an adverb and a verb. An adverb and a verb. Now, these ones also take their plurals in the last words. When we say plurals in the last words, we are simply meaning there is some letters you need to add to the last word for you to get the plural of such compound nouns. Now, we have an example like out and break. Those are two words. One is an adverb, another one is a verb. Now, when you want to get the plural of outbreak, you simply add an S to the last part of the word, which is break, and we'll have outbreaks. For example, in a sentence, we have had a number of malaria outbreaks in our community. Another example, we have backlashes, we have output, outputs, input, inputs, outcast, outcasts, outburst, outbursts, and so forth and so forth. So we have a variety of examples. If also you normally use your English dictionaries to study and do your personal revisions, they also assist a lot in identifying such words as compound nouns and which words has been used to combine the compound nouns. Now, at part F, Mira, take us through at part H. H, Mira. Mira. Mira, Raymond.
Yes.
Concentrate. I want you to read for us part H.
Part H.
Yes.
Only see part H. A number of compound nouns are formed by joining two nouns by use of hyphens and a short preposition in between. These compound nouns always take their plurals in the first word.
Yes, I want.
Commanders, commander-in-chief, mother-in-law, play within a play, sergeant at arms, sister-in-law.
Now, as Raymond has put us through our part H, boys and girls, we are saying that a number. This means we have quite more examples that a number of compound nouns are formed by joining two nouns, by use of hyphens and a short preposition in between. Now, these compound nouns, they always take their plurals in the first words. That is where the stress is, and that is what I want you to underline. You put more emphasis on where the plural is. We are saying when you have compound nouns which have been formed by joining two nouns with a preposition in between, boys and girls, you will end up having their plurals in the first words. How? For example, when you talk of commander, you see, commander in chief. We have the first noun, commander. We have the second noun, chief. Then we have the preposition in. And in between these words, they have been separated using a hyphen. Now, for you to get the plural of the word commander in chief, boys and girls, you should pay keen attention. How do you go about it? The plural is found in the first word. That's why we have put an S in brackets next to the first noun, commander. So that if you have commander-in-chief in singular, for you to get the plural, you will say commanders-in-chief. You don't say commander-in-chiefs. No, that one is grammatically wrong. You say commanders-in-chief. Now, this one is a bit different from the other compound nouns because most of the other compound nouns, they have been forming their plurals in the last words. But these ones, they form their plurals in the first words. Another example is sergeant at arms. Now, sergeant is the first noun, arms is the second noun. Then we have the preposition at in between, separated by a hyphen. For you to get the plural of this word, sergeant at arms, you have to put emphasis on the first noun or the first word, and that is sergeant. That's why we have put an S in between sergeant and at. Why? To imply or to show that for compound nouns that have been joined using two nouns and a preposition in between, the plural of such nouns is placed on the first word. That's why we are using sergeants at arms. The same applies to mother-in-law. We shall be having mothers-in-law. You don't say mother-in-laws. That one is wrong. So we shall have mothers-in-law, sisters-in-law, plays within a play, etc., etc. Now, we have a very simple exercise down here, boys and girls. Exercise 11. Exercise 11. Exercise 11. I want to believe I had given you this yesterday. Did I? Bowen?
Yes.
Bowen, did I
Yes,
give?
you did.
Yes. So, Joy, do you have this exercise? Joy? Where I was saying underline the compound nouns in the following sentences. Do you remember?
Yes, I will. Yes.
Okay, okay. Now let's start with Ayak. Ayak, turn your video on. Ayak,
Yes.
good morning.
Good morning.
Please take us through the first question. Ayak.
John wants to be a quantity surveyor when he grows up.
Yeah, quantity surveyor. John wants to be a quantity surveyor when he grows up. Now, what can you say is the compound noun in that sentence? Ayak?
Quantity surveyor.
Yeah, you say quantity surveyor. Quantity surveyor. Come up again, Ayak.
Quantity surveyor.
Quantity surveyor, yes. Quantity surveyor is the compound noun in that sentence. Now, Scott. Scott,
Yes.
quantity surveyor, does it has a plural?
Yes, it does.
How will it be?
You had an S at the end.
Which end of
Quantity surveyors.
Quantity surveyors, perfect. Quantity surveyors. Wendy, take us through number 2. Unmute, unmute, unmute. Wendy, Wendy, unmute.
Oh, sorry. Rainwater had washed away all the topsoil.
Uh-huh. So what's the compound noun, Wendy?
Topsoil.
Topsoil. Do we have any other compound noun in that sentence?
I don't think so.
Stacy, what do you think? Stacy, what do you think? Do we have any other compound noun in that sentence, Stacy? Stacy, unmute yourself and say something.
No.
Bowen, what do you think?
I think also topsoil is a compound noun.
Yeah, that is what Wendy said initially. So
Oh, sorry, rainwater.
rainwater. Mira, Raymond, Raymond.
Yes.
Do
Yes.
you think rainwater has a plural?
Mm, no.
No. Uh-huh. Scott, I can see your hand. You want to say something, Scott?
Rainwater doesn't have a plural.
Uh, pl-
When you say rainwater, it doesn't make sense.
it doesn't make sense. Very good. So in that sentence, rainwater had washed away all the topsoil. We have two compound nouns. The first one is rainwater, and the second one is topsoil. Topsoil. Number three, the footballer. Barbara, take us through number three.
The footballer was shown a red card by the referee.
The footballer was shown a red card by the referee. Please identify for us the compound nouns, Barbara.
Referee. Footballer.
Footballer. Boyan, I can see your hand is up. You want to say something, Boyan?
Also red card.
Yeah, also red card. Very good. Very good. Very good. We have this footballer as the compound noun. We also have this red card as another compound noun. Now, footballer is a compound noun formed by joining words. Which word has been joined? Foot and baller, so that you have footballer. Here is a compound noun formed by separating words. Which one and which one? Red and card. So you end up having a red card and footballer as compound nouns. Now, Joy,
Yes,
does footballer has a plural?
I think so.
What would that be?
Footballers.
Footballers, perfect. Abel, Abel,
Yes.
good morning, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Do you think red card has a plural?
No.
Abel.
Yes.
Ethan,
Yes. 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 Yes.
Ethan, Ethan,
Yes,
good
yes.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Turn on your video. Ethan,
Yes,
do you think red card has a plural?
yes.
What would that be?
Red cards.
Red cards. Perfect. Stacy, I can see your hand. You want to say something, Stacy?
I wanted to see the answer.
Okay, you take us through number four then, Stacy. Number four.
Neither candidate won the elections, forcing a runoff.
Yes, neither candidate won the elections, forcing a runoff. So where are the compound nouns, Stacy?
The runoff.
Runoff. Bowen, what is the plural of runoff?
Runoffs.
Runoffs. Abel, take us through number five, the goalkeeper. Abel.
The goalkeeper saved a penalty in the second half.
The goalkeeper saved a penalty in the second half. Identify the compound nouns, Joy.
Goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper. Any other?
Penalty.
Penalty. Nope.
Hmm?
Try again.
Second half.
Second half. Great. Second half. Scott,
Yes.
what's the plural of goalkeeper?
Goalkeepers.
Yes. Scott, come up again. What is the plural of goalkeeper?
Goalkeepers.
Goalkeepers. Yes, goalkeepers. Now, having done that, boys and girls, I want to believe you now understand fully when we talk about compound nouns. Compound nouns. Now, before we go or we run out of time, before we run out of time, let me introduce what we shall be looking at next. And in this case, we have what we call possessive nouns. The other day, I gave you an assignment. I found out that people had problems identifying the difference between these kinds of nouns. Possessive, like when you talk of possessive noun. What do you exactly imply? What do you mean? In the event that somebody will try or will ask you to explain to them possessive nouns, Wendy, what is a possessive noun?
A possessive noun is a noun shows who or what owns something.
Yeah, as the word suggests, possessive, to possess, it is to own. It shows who or what owns what. What are you owning? A possessive noun can either be singular or plural. We have singular possessive nouns and we have plural possessive nouns. Now, let's start with singular possessive nouns. Bowen, take us through.
As a singular possessive noun shows that one person, place, or thing has or owns something. To
Yeah.
make a singular noun,
Go on. To
to
make.
make a singular noun show possession, add an apostrophe and s in brackets the apostrophe then s.
Yes.
Example: the feathers of a chick, the chick's feathers, the hat that belongs to the man, the man's hat. Other examples: the child's toy, Mark's bike, the fish's fin, and the horse's tail.
And the horse's tails. Now, I want to explain to you something here, boys and girls. You remember that assignment we did, and we were wondering, is it the cat's tail or the tail of the cat? You see, where we are saying it's like IT apostrophe S or ITS. You see, I was simply testing if you understand possessive nouns. Now, here we are, and we are starting with the singular possessive nouns. And we are saying that a singular possessive noun, it shows that one person, one place, or one thing has or owns something. It is singular. It is one, not two, not three, not plural, singular. To make a singular noun show possession, it is very simple, boys and girls. You simply add an apostrophe and an S, the way it has been denoted here in brackets. You simply add an apostrophe and an S. For example, the feathers of the chick. To show possession, you simply add an apostrophe between chick and an S so that you have the chick's feathers. It shows singular possessive noun that the feathers belongs to the chick. Now, example number 2, the hat that belongs to the man. You simply say the man's hat. The man's hat. How do you go about that? You simply add an apostrophe and an S to the man, and you will end up having the man's hat. Other examples, we have the child's toy, the fish fins, the Mark's bike, meaning the bike belongs to Mike, the horse's tail, meaning the tail belongs to the horse. Now, using possessive nouns in shorter and better than other ways of showing possession, it is a shorter and better way of showing possession. When you use possessive nouns, you simply shorten your communication. Can I have Mike's book, please? Rather than saying, can I have that book that belongs to Mike? You simply say, can I have Mike's book? You have used a singular possessive noun. Singular possessive noun. Now, longer. We have the shorter form and we have the longer form. For example, the dog belonging to Papa is barking. That one is in the longer form. How do you put it in the shorter form using possessive nouns in the singular form? You simply say Papa's dog is barking. This one is better as compared to the first one. You see, the first one is long and time taking, and it also becomes some kind of boring. But when you say Papa's dog is barking, that one is now more eloquent, more demure. It looks good, it looks better, it sounds wow. Now we have singular possessive nouns and we have plural possessive nouns. Abel, I can see your hand. You want to say something, Abel?
Yeah, what does demure mean?
Demure. Anybody? Boy, what does demure mean? Boy?
Maybe something pleasing, looks nice. That's a good thing.
A good thing. Wendy, what do you think demure means?
Means like kind or like orderly stuff.
Yeah, you are almost there. Now, Abel, first of all, demure. It is an adjective. And you all know what an adjective does. An adjective is a word that tells or describes more about a noun. So, when you say demure, it is something that is good, modest, and mostly it is accompanied or it is used by women. When you say she's very demure, you can say she's very beautiful, she's very modest, typically good, something you talk of in the positive regard, not negative. Sawa Abel. Abel,
Yes.
yeah, reserved, shy. So you cannot use the word demure with men. Demure is mostly used with accompanied by women in most cases. It has got to do with beauty, shyness, and so forth. Now we had just looked at singular possessive nouns. Now we have plural possessive nouns. Plural possessive nouns. Here there is a bit trick as compared to singular possessive nouns. In plural possessive nouns, they show possession or ownership of a plural noun. Plural. For example, the cars that belong to the teachers are parked here. That one is the long version. How do you put it in the shorter version? You'll simply say in the shorter version, the teacher's cars. Now, the apostrophe comes after the S, unlike in singular, where the apostrophe comes before the S. So, for plural, boys and girls, the apostrophe comes after the S. The teacher's cars are parked here. When a plural noun ends in S, add only an apostrophe after the S to make the noun show possession. Not all plural nouns end in S, that one you should know. When a plural noun does not end in S, add apostrophe, then S to form the plural possession. For example, man is singular, men is plural. Now, you want to show possession with this noun men. The shoes of the man. You see, the man here is plural. How do you show possession? You'll simply add an apostrophe to the word man, then add an S so that it is the man's shoes. This one shows possession in plural. Possession in plural. Then another example, the food of the children. You see, children doesn't end in S. So you simply put an apostrophe after the word children, and then you add an S. So you'll end up having the children's food. The children's food. And that one will have shown possession in plural. In plural. In plural. Do we have anybody with a question about possessive nouns in singular and in plural? Bowen, any question?
No.
Wendy?
No.
Great. Abel? Abel?
Pardon?
Do you have any question concerning possessive nouns?
No.
Joy?
No.
Great. Now we have this exercise 8 here, boys and girls. I want you to write only 3 questions. Change the following phrases to show possession in a shorter way. You do for me number 1, number 2, and number 3. An example has been done for you. The clothes of the leopard. You say the leopard's clothes. The leopard's clothes. Then we have that exercise number 1. The tail of the lion. How will it be in short form as far as possession is concerned? The dog that Cliff has. And then number 3, the heart of my mother. The heart of my mother. So kindly put these 3 sentences down and write for me possession in short form. Possession in short form. That is where we shall be starting next in our next lesson. And then we continue with other things. Otherwise, I want to wish you a good afternoon and thank you for joining the lesson. Unless somebody has a clarification they need, let me bid you a bye-bye.
See you, teacher August.
August,
God.
we shall meet. I think there is a lesson, pre-technical somewhere. This grade, sorry, that one for grade 7. Well, if it is in August, but we shall still meet tomorrow, I suppose. I'll check my timetable and let you know.
Tomorrow there is no lesson.
Oh, there's no any other lesson?
There is no English lesson.
Ouch.
That is.
Ouch. Ouch.
Grade 6, no.
Okay, no worries. You do for me the 3, then we shall meet whenever we shall meet. In our next meeting, we shall be starting from there and we move on and on and on. Otherwise, it was nice having you on the Correspondence Learning Program. April edition 2025. Bye-bye. Ethan, bye. Bowen, bye.
Bye.
Barbara, bye.
Bye.
Stacy,
Teacher.
yes.
Teacher,
Yes.
this is the last time.
No, it's not.
This is the last time until August.
Yeah, until August, maybe. Bye, Abel.
And in the evening.
In the evening, I'm not sure. I'll let you know. Is that okay? Okay, bye-bye, 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 bye-bye.
Bye 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 bye.